Hello, Internet. It's time to read the Bible. Happy Valentine's Day. It's February 14th. I got some chocolate from my parents, and that's about it. But it was fun. Or I didn't have I had a good day, but it really wasn't very Valentine's-y other than that, which is fine. So, moving on. Exodus chapter 37, verse 1 to chapter 38, verse 31. Let's just read it quickly if it's still this stuff. Next, Bezalel made the ark. This was constructed by acacia wood and was 3 1/4 feet long, 2 1/4 feet wide, 2 1/4 feet high. It was plated with pure gold inside and out and had a molding of gold all the way around the sides. There was 4 gold rings fastened to its 4 feet, 2 rings at each end. Then made poles from acacia wood and overlaid them with gold and put poles into the rings at the side of the ark to carry. Then from pure gold he made the lid, called it pace of measure that was 3 3/4 feet long and 2 1/4 feet wide. He made 2 sedges of guardian beaten gold and placed them at 2 ends of the gold lid. They were molded so that they were actually part of the gold lid. It was all one piece. The guardian angels faced each other with outstretched wings that overshadowed the place of mercy, looking downward upon it. Then he made a table, each using acacia wood 3 feet long, 1 1/2 feet wide, and 2 1/4 feet high. It was overlaid with pure gold and gold molding all around the edge. The rim was 4 inches high and constructed with the edges of the table with gold molding along the rim. Then he cast 4 rings of gold and placed them into 4 table legs and closed the molding and hold the carrying poles in place. He made the carrying poles of acacia wood and covered with gold. Next, using pure gold, he made the bowls, the flagons, dishes, and spoons to be placed upon the table. Then he made the lampstands again using pure beaten gold as base shape. Shaft, lamp holders, and decorations of almond flowers were all of one piece. The lampstand had 6 branches, the 3 from each side. Each of the branches was decorated with identical carvings of blossoms. The main stem of the lampstand was similarly decorated with almond blossoms. The flower of the stem beneath each pair of branches, so the flower below the bottom pair and above the top pair. 4 in all. The decorations of branches were all of one piece, pure beaten gold. Then he had made 7 lamps at the end of the branches and snuffs and the ashtrays, all pure gold. The entire lampstand weighed 107 pounds, all pure gold. The incense altar was made of acacia wood, 18 inches square and 3 feet high, with its corner horns made of as part of the altar so that it was all one piece. He overlaid it all with pure gold and ran the gold molding around the edge. 2 gold rings were placed on each side beneath the molding to hold the carrying poles. The carrying poles were golden plated acacia wood. Then from sweet spices he made the sacred oil for anointing the priests and the incense using the techniques of the most skilled perfumers. The burnt offering altars were also constructed of acacia wood from 7 1/2 feet square to top, 4 1/2 feet high. There were 4 horns at the 4 corners, all one piece with the rest. This altar was overlaid with bronze. Within he made bronze utensils to be used with the altar: the pots, the shovels, basins, meat hooks, and fire pans. Next he made a bronze grating and rested upon the ledge about halfway up in the firebox. 4 rings were cast for each side of the grating to insert the carrying poles. The carrying poles themselves were made of acacia wood overlaid with bronze. The carrying poles were inserted in the rings at the side of the altar, and the altar was hollow in the plank with plank siding. The bronze washpan and its bronze pedestal were cast from the solid bronze mirrors donated by the women who assembled at the entrance of the tabernacle. Then he constructed a courtyard in the south wall of 150 feet long. It was consisted of drapes woven with fine twined linen thread. There was 20 posts to hold the drapes with bases of bronze and silver hooks and rods. The north with all was 150 feet long with 20 bronze post bases with silver hooks and rods. The west side was 75 feet wide. The walls were made from drapes supported by 10 posts and bases with silver hooks and rods. The east side was also 75 feet wide. The drapes at either side of the entrance were 22 1/2 feet wide each with 3 posts and 3 bases. All the drapes making up the walls were woven from fine twined linen. Each post had a bronze base. All the hooks and rods were silver. The tops of the posts were overlaid with silver, and the rods to hold up the drapes were solid silver. The drapery covering the entrance from the court was made of fine twined linen, beautifully embroidered with blue, purple, and scarlet thread. Was 30 feet long and 7 1/2 feet wide, with the drapes composing the walls of the court. It was supported by 4 posts with 4 bronze bases and with silver hooks and rods. With the tops of the posts were also silver. All the nails used in constructing the tabernacle court were bronze. This summarized the various steps of the building of the tabernacle to house the ark, so that the Levites could carry on their ministry. All was done in the order designated by Moses and was supervised by Ithamar, son of Aaron, the priest. Bezalel, son of Uri, and grandson of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, was the master craftsman, assisted by Oholiab, son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan. He too was a skilled craftsman and also an expert at engraving, weaving, and embroidery, embroidering blue, purple, and scarlet threads into fine linen cloth. The people brought gifts of 3,140 pounds of gold, all of which was used throughout the tabernacle. The amount of silver used was 9,575 pounds, which came from the 50-cent head tax collected from all those registered in the census who were 20 years old or older, a total of 603,550 men. The basis for the frames of the sanctuary walls and for the posts supporting the veil required 9,500 pounds of silver, 95 pounds for each socket, and the silver left over was used for the posts and to overlay their tops and for the rods and the hooks. The people brought 7,540 pounds of bronze, which was used for casting the bases of the posts at the entrance to the tabernacle, for the bronze altar, the bronze grating, the altar utensils, and the bases for the posts supporting the drapes enclosing the court, and for all the nails used in the construction of the tabernacle and the court. I think we're done with the tabernacle. Finally. Maybe we get back to the Israelites doing stuff. I mean, mostly making mistakes, but we learn from it. All right, moving on to Matthew. And Jesus was just crucified and put in the tomb. So let's move on with, or continue rather, with chapter 28, verses 1 through 20. Early on Sunday morning, as the new day was dawning, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went out to the tomb. Suddenly, there was a great earthquake, for an angel of the Lord came down from heaven and rolled aside the stone and sat on it. His face shone like lightning, and his clothing was brilliant white. The guards shook with fear when they saw him, and fell into a dead faint. Then the angel spoke to the women. Don't be frightened. I know it means the exact same thing, but be not afraid is just so ingrained in my brain. Anyway, I know you are looking for Jesus, who was crucified, but he isn't here. I know, for he has come back to life again, just as he said he would. Come in and see where his body was laying. And now go quickly and tell his disciples that he was risen from the dead, and that he is going to Galilee to meet them there. That is my message to them. The woman ran from the tomb, badly frightened, but also filled with joy, and rushed to find the disciples to give them the angel's message. And as they were running, suddenly Jesus was there in front of them. Good morning, he said, and they fell to the ground before him, holding his feet and worshipping him. Then Jesus said to them, Don't be frightened. Go, tell my brothers to leave at once for Galilee, to meet me there. As the women were on the way into the city, some of the temple police who had been guarding the tomb went to the chief priests and told them what had happened. A meeting of all the Jewish leaders was called, and it was decided to bribe the police to say they had all been asleep when Jesus' disciples came during the night and stole his body. Liars! If the governor hears about it, the council promised, we'll stand up for you and everything will be all right. So the police accepted the bribe and said what they were told to. Their story spread widely among the Jews. My light bulb is flickering. And is still believed by them to this very day. Then the 11 disciples left for Galilee, going to the mountain where Jesus had said they would find him. There they met him and worshipped him, but some of them weren't sure it was really Jesus. He told his disciples, I have been given all authority in heaven and earth. Therefore go and make disciples in all the nations, baptizing them into the name of the Father and the Son and of the Holy Spirit, and then teach these new disciples to obey all the commands I have given you. And be sure of this, that I am with you always, even to the end of the world. Now, Psalms chapter 34, verses 11 through 22. Sons and daughters, come and listen and let me teach you the importance of trusting and fearing the Lord. Do you want a long, good life? Then watch your tongue. Keep your lips from lying. Turn from all known sin and spend your time in doing good. Try to live in peace with everyone. Work hard at it, for the eyes of the Lord are intently watching you. Watching all who live good lives. And he gives attention when they cry to him. But the Lord has made up his mind to wipe out even the memory of evil men from the earth. Yes, the Lord hears the good man, and when he calls for him. Bleh. I apologize. Let me try that again. Yes, the Lord hears the good man when he calls to him for help and saves him out of all his troubles. The Lord is close to those whose hearts are breaking. He rescues those who are humbly sorry for their sins. The good man does not escape all troubles. He has them too, but the Lord helps him in each and every one. Not one of his bones is broken. Calamity will surely overtake the wicked. Heavy penalties are meted out to those who hate the good. But as for those who serve the Lord, he will redeem them. Everyone who takes refuge in him will be freely pardoned. Finally, Proverbs for today, chapter 9, verse 9 and 10. Teach a wise man, and he will be the wiser. Teach a good man, and he will learn more. For the reverence and fear of God are basic to all wisdom. Knowing God results in every other kind of understanding. All right, that's all for today. Thank you, and God bless.